I don't want to startle you. I'm going to do a test.
Yes.
A test, Welcome to Take Your Shoes Off podcast. And if I like this one, I will use this one. But
okay.
I normally don't do like a big energy thing. I'm going to try that for this.
Okay.
Welcome back to another Take Your Shoes Off podcast. Today's special guest is the Nikki Glaser. Nikki, how are you today?
I'm so good. How are you, Rick?
I'm good. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing.
How are your headphones?
My headphones are great.
Okay, Nikki?
Yes.
Nikki, I have a bit of a pimple situation.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Well, I was thinking it might be a little ridiculous, so I couldn't have hit it and not acknowledged it.
Oh,
So-
I've already looked at you. Wait, you had a mask on though. Where is it? Let me see. Where?
Really?
On your lip? Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah, that's okay. It's also through a window, so I can't really get a good sense. But I would never think that was like a cold. So when they're by your lip, you're just worried people are gonna think you have herpes, which we all have, and God forbid you have this thing that we all have that goes away after a couple days. It's highly contagious. Pimples aren't. So, but they're gross.
And it's not just red. There's a little bit, and I'm joking if I'm not.
Is there a white part coming out?
There's yes, a little.
I don't have herpes, by the way. I want to just clear that up.
Oh, that gets rid
But
of
that's
question
not
1, 2, and 3.
Well, were you just gonna go through every different strain?
Well, I just had being a female comedian with herpes, how difficult it is in a male-driven world.
Well, the thing is, oh yeah, right. Like that's it's so difficult. No, I don't mind. Like I am not. You really putting a Band-Aid over it?
I'm a little grossed out.
It's very Nelly.
Thank you. Well, you're from St. Louis.
I
right?
am from St. Louis.
So
I just want to get back to the herpes thing still because
I know.
I do feel like if I got it, I would talk about it on stage like immediately because I would want other people with it. I always talk about it because I love comedians who are like open about stuff that you're like, whoa, I haven't heard that that admitted yet on
right.
stage. It takes a lot to surprise me. So I go, that's very that. I'm not scared of like I reacted, but it was very slow. But usually I am very jumpy. I'm surprised that didn't get me, honestly.
Really? It didn't get you?
I guess I must be very calm right now.
Well, watch it in slow motion.
It takes a lot to surprise.
Perfect. Okay. Smiling with a Band-Aid on? we got
That's
it.
Kevin.
We
I was
already
just
got
I was trying to do a better Kevin. Because I have it in me to like, you said it and I did it, but then I had it in me to go, I think I could maybe
Here's a real question
because
for
I'm
you.
good at impressions sometimes.
When does that get in your way? You trying to just beat the thing that was already good enough?
All the time. But it doesn't as much anymore. I can let go of things now. That was 2 seconds more of wasting our time as opposed to
Ours or the audience's?
Well, yours because you're the one that's going to edit it out later because we don't want that. It was just too much.
I think it was charming. It was fun. It showed our energy.
Well, then it didn't waste anyone's time. It's 2 seconds. But I will say that there are times where the perfectionist in me does something too much,
What's
and
his
then
name?
it starts.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. After discussing this with Nikki, it turns out that perfectionist inside of her happens to be a huge fan of British murder mysteries. Unfortunately, you can't get them in the States. Luckily, with a proper VPN like ExpressVPN, you could watch the British Netflix like it's no big deal. Go to ExpressVPN, that's EXPRESSVPN.com/TYSO to get an extra 3 months free.
And we're back. Why do you have to check your cameras every 2 minutes?
If you want a snap and we're back hat, you could get one at rickglassman.com. Nikki, go ahead.
Rick, is this to be, I think is this to be funny or is this just you and now you're leaning into it?
Which part?
Checking the cameras every 2 minutes to make sure they're running. I'm noticing a trend here.
Oh, you think you're on MTV's Punk'd?
No, I think you have OCD.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a trend as much as a character trait, but
No, a trend in your behavior and I'm like, "Oh wow, like you've made you're vulnerable."
You.
Like I was just saying, like you being like, I'm gonna like just show the things that I'm obsessed with. That I mean, you don't need to check a camera a million times, and you know that, but it's just what your thing.
Okay.
Or do you have to? Is it a malfunctioning camera? Has it ever not been taping when you checked it?
If I had the energy and time or budget for this, I would love to snap to a montage of how many times the camera has shut off
really?
or gone out of focus or something. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
It
So
does
never
happen.
mind. This is a justified one. I just wanted to check. I have unjustified fears so much, and I that's why I'm interested in them because I relate.
Okay.
2-lane highways is mine.
What does that
Like,
mean?
if you're driving down a road and there's just
Two lanes.
Like, and one's going this way, and there's only like a foot separating the two.
It.
Over 30 miles an hour. Have so much anxiety. I have to either be driving so I can be like ready to run off the road.
Yeah.
Because someone's texting, just this much, you're head on collision over 30 miles an hour, you're dead. And I can't stand it, and I feel out of control. Like driving from Vegas to LA or that. I will never do it again. I had to pull off and go. We had to go back roads because I was too scared. It took hours.
How candid could I be with you?
Like the most.
Entirely, because we don't know each other that well yet.
No, not at all. I'm still like whenever we hang out, I'm always like, what, you are perplex me, but I'm just so fascinated by your show. I really enjoy your Instagram clips.
Awesome, thank you.
And they make me laugh so hard, and so I finally was like, can I please do your podcast? Yeah.
Well, first I have to take this off because I can't smile with it. This is what it feels like. I feel like to have
get
Botox.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't even see the Band-Aid now. This is wild. But the pimple thing, just like, I get calling it out is good, but I would never have noticed, and I wouldn't care if you had a pimple. It wouldn't
It's
make
not
me
about
like
you. It's about me being embarrassed. Let me
But,
just
like,
fix
why
it
are
real
you embarrassed,
Let me
though?
fix it real quick. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
That's why I'm so jealous of men. They can just grow a beard and facial hair, and it covers up all your like chin acne. Like I always had that, and I always wanted that, but now
How'd you get rid of it?
I have one
Proactive?
down there to cover up the herp. Don't have it, by the way. Proactive. My mom did send me Proactive in college as like all my friends were getting care packages from their moms of like food from home and like sweet letters. My mom sent me Proactive as like I've seen pictures of you recently. You're struggling.
Here's where I wanted to be candid with you.
Tell me.
You go so fast.
I'm very fast.
It's very fast. And I want to ask some questions.
I know.
Any question I want to ask will be an interruption. And I'm fine interrupting you. I just want to make sure we're kind of establishing any boundaries we might have, and like you're not thinking, oh, Rick keeps interrupting.
No, I would never. I don't judge.
Where'd you get that?
anything.
No, I'm just kidding. I have to take these off. Oh, it's, you know what? I might start selling shirts that say this. Sometimes you got pimples.
Sometimes you got
I'm
pimples.
gonna be so embarrassed when it's white.
But there's nothing to be ashamed of. That doesn't mean you're dirty. It doesn't mean anything about you. But then people, I think when they're by your mouth, people think cold sores, and that could mean something about you. It could mean you're.
This is too high for a cold sore.
You. No. That's definitely that is too high. You're right.
You see the white?
It's too high.
You see white?
Yeah, I see white. That thing's ready to go. You just got to get your girlfriend to put a hot compress on it and then dig in there. I love.
Just do an advertisement for your podcast. I'll be
Okay,
back.
the Nikki Glaser podcast is every day, Monday through Thursday, wherever you get your podcast. It's with iHeartRadio. It's just me and my best friend who I live with in St. Louis, Missouri, just shooting this shit every day. It's like a morning radio show that you would listen to, when your mom would drive you to school. It's loose, it's fun, it's honest, it's always funny, and it'll brighten your day. The Nikki Glaser podcast.
How much of the timing of that was your instincts versus all you had to say about it? Because that ended as I sat.
I know that was really wild. I'm gonna say I wish it were just like broadcasting talent, but I think it was just a coincidence.
Betty said when I had this on, I looked like Voldemort.
That is terrible. What is that?
It's a bandage.
Oh,
Band-
it looks like you have, to me, because you're coming through there's a lot of, what's the glare on you and stuff. It looks like just a prosthetic, like a hair lip. Like you had a hair lip, but you had an operation, and now it's like.
I'm going to interrupt. Have you seen Henry Canville? Not Canville.
I know of him, but
As
there's
Superman, they had to CGI his Mission Impossible mustache. He filmed the whole movie with a mustache.
What?
We'll put up a picture here. And you could see the whole movie, he's shaved, but it's all CGI'd. And that's kind of what it looks like. It just looks like he has a bandage.
What?
Yeah.
Because he was just doing another project where he needed
He had
mustache?
first position of Mission Impossible. They had already started filming.
Oh, how many millions of dollars were spent to do that?
I'm going to make this number up, and I'm pretty sure I'm spot on.
A lot.
6.
And you know what? I heard, like, now women just get their skin airbrushed in movies. I mean, we know that you can do filters and like moving images because we all do it on Instagram, but like they go back now.
Talk to me about that. How important is it to be good looking on Instagram?
I mean, the thing is, being good looking catches the eye. We're all people who are motivated by sex.
But so does lying.
What do you? Oh, I mean, lying definitely does. But we all are doing an exaggerated version of what we have to present. Like, we're all like funny people, but we're all trying to get people's attention so that we can make money and be loved and all these things. So when I do a picture where it catches the eye more because I have my legs out, or it's just like I look pretty, It's not because I'm like, I want everyone to want to fuck me, and I don't really think I'm enough, and I need boys to want to have sex with me so that I can feel loved. It's that it catches the eye more, so people will look at it and might read the caption to come to my show. Like, why wouldn't I do a thing in a picture? And I don't even do it that much. But why wouldn't I? I always struggle with like, am I funny or am I trying to be pretty? Like, which is it? And it can be both.
But what?
It can be both.
But what is it about? What do you think? There's something a person is losing. For example, you said about my podcast how you're putting it all out there, and I don't think that curates the most entertaining, best product, but it does make it the most consistent, easy to do.
No, it makes it easy for you, which makes it more enjoyable for people to watch. And if you're having fun and you're comfortable with what you're doing and you've made something that fits exactly how you like things and you're thriving in it, that's better entertainment and it's better for everyone to watch.
Well, that's what
when people get ring lights, like my sister's a teacher and she has to teach on Zoom, and I go, get a ring light. And she's like, I don't care about how I look. And I'm like, it's not about how you look. Everyone should have a ring light. A grandma should have a ring light. It's a more pleasing image. So it's just better to look at for the person. It's not about being hot.
Why are you so passionate about this?
Because I think that people get shamed for being
Let's not talk about people. Let's talk about you.
I do the shaming too. I judge girls for like, oh my God, she's like, she doesn't have to do that. She's putting
What is that? Hold on. We got to slow down because
being
this is hard for
slutty,
me.
looking slutty.
We got to slow down.
Okay.
People get shamed for looking. What is looking slutty? You mean like showing boobs or legs?
Like looking like you're a girl who likes to ride a dick or eat a puss, whatever it is. Like looking like a girl who.
It's totally fine.
No, it's like you should do whatever or do none of it. Like, but looking like if you're asexual, you know, I want to. But asexual people probably wouldn't lead with sex, but they also could because it doesn't mean you want to be penetrated. It means I'm trying to sell you something. I'm trying to get my brand out there. And not that I use that. Sometimes the reason I'm sexy sometimes on Instagram or on a thing is because I know it's not going to last.
Sexy sometimes on Instagram.
This is a window. This is a snapshot of my life that someday I hope to show my sister's kids, because I probably won't have my own, but like, and go, I was like I was a saucy little lady once, and just like be able to look at and be, and also I'm single and I am sexy. I like sex. And I don't have enough of, I love it. And
we're animating you being topless right now. So if you
no, you can't do that. No, I hate that. Because sometimes there was one time I did a show and I like was flashing for this sketch I did like 15 years ago. And the guy hired me to like be a fan, and I flashed and I had like a bra underneath, and then they blurred it to make it look like I had actually flashed my boobs like on set for this dumb sketch, and I was so annoyed. There was another thing where they like were gonna put a fart sound in, and they, thank God they didn't, because I was like, if someone thought, because they would have thought I farted, and I don't fart, okay? And I would never ever, and if I was, that's queefs you're hearing, by the way. Those are all queefs.
Well, I'll try and edit those sounds out. Okay. But Nikki.
But now I don't care about fart sounds. Like, I'm comfortable being myself, but I'm single, so why wouldn't I, like, I don't know. And even if I'm not single, I'm still might put a fucking leg out there, or like an under boob.
How did we get to this? What was the point of this? What were we talking about? Mustaches, Henry Canville, looking good.
Oh, girl.
Because my thoughts were
acne.
when you put good looking pictures up on social media, I was a real estate agent for a while. You probably knew this. Mm-mm. And one of the slogans that we learned was to under-promise and over-deliver.
Yes.
When you get to the house, you want to exceed expectations.
Right. I do. I will match any picture of the. I don't do a filter ever. If I ever.
We know.
If I ever post a filtered image, it's someone else's that they did and gave to me, and I'm like, okay, because I hate lying to myself. I hate that when you go on your Instagram story, it's already kind of filtered. You don't even have to do the Paris one. It's already like you look a little less blemishy, and then that's why when you look in a mirror, you're like, I'm a monster. You don't even see your real.
I don't want to talk about beauty anymore. I want to move on.
I could talk about it all day, but yeah, I'm just saying. Your point was about the thing about. Yeah, it's not real. When I'm on dating apps and stuff, I never put out a picture that is hotter than I can present on a first date ever. But then, Rick, here's the thing. Because everyone lies on dating apps.
No, but we know.
But I'm just telling you, listen to me right now.
I've been.
Everyone was like, Nikki, you got to put up a really hot picture from like a red carpet, or like where you look like dazzling. And I'm like, I can't show up that spray tan. I don't normally look like that. It's false advertising. And so I put up real pictures of like, I look beautiful, but that's like real me. That's what I could,
We'll put up a picture of one of the pictures you have.
Yeah. And then I wasn't getting anything on Raya. Anything. But then because I realized that guys think I'm lying with that, because everyone lies, they assume that thing that I'm being honest about, that's the best I can do, and that's going to be like way hotter than she is when she shows up. I'm not wrong, because Rick, then
Nikki,
I put up a super mega hot pic, and I got so many matches.
But you're getting matches by the people that want that pic, and that's not working out.
Right. But I do think that people assume when I go on these apps, I'm one of these people, and I see a picture of a guy and he's put up an authentic picture of himself. I think that's the best picture he could do. And so I go, that's probably a lie, because I've been tricked by it too so many times with guys where I'm like, ugh.
When I was young.
Thought you had a chin.
I was young.
Yeah.
Okay, before Betty, who you met earlier.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. Her name is Betty. She has a Taylor Swift song with.
Change your name.
About her. I would. I'm changing it to Cardigan.
My picture was me with a fake mustache and sunglasses.
Yeah.
And I snagged her.
She definitely Googled you and saw what was underneath that. That's why I like celebrities, because you can like see them like.
But won't people Google you?
Yes, at this point, yes. This was before that, but for me and men, like I would love for people to have like a like where they like, this is how I walk, this is how I talk, this is how it looks like when I need to see video before I commit to like a date with a guy.
Which brings us into a great transition to our video segment we like to call Meet Uncle Bob.
I connect people's internet. Niche, specialized shit.
Geographic location.
211. Hey now.
My Uncle Bob is a huge Stern guy. And through Stern became a fan of yours. And I asked you to come on my podcast like over a year ago, and it didn't happen for whatever reason. And at the time, I said, Nikki might come on, so tell her hello. So he said hello, and I want to send you, this is a link to the timestamp in the episode.
Okay.
This week. We might have her on the podcast, so why don't you give a little, when she's on, I'll give her a hello. So
give us a hello to Nikki Glaser. Look to the camera.
Can I give me a minute?
Yeah, get ready.
Two things.
Hold on, let him get ready.
Okay.
Who's here?
Teddy, give him a little get ready music.
Get ready. What is get ready music? I mean, this is now I'm back in the jingle world again. Like, get ready music.
Get ready. Get ready.
Go ahead.
Hello, Nikki Glaser. I am so happy you're going to be on the podcast, because you're Ricky's match, and you're going to cut him up and do him down.
Yes, she is going to cut me up and do me down. Nikki, that's a challenge for you to come on the Take Your Shoes Off podcast and chop me up and do me down. That's it. So
I love
we've been waiting.
him. I want to cut you up and do you down.
Well,
I don't even know what he meant by that.
I don't either.
Like he'd like roast you?
I think, let's do that. But I do think, let's roast each other.
I mean, no, I can't handle it.
You can't handle taking it or dishing it?
I just don't want to be roasted. I'm too fragile.
Really?
Yeah, I like when I sign up for it. Like I don't, because then I just get mean. It's mean.
Right.
And you didn't, like, I'm not being paid. And it's like, and I want to really, I work so hard on roast jokes that it's not something I do off the top of my head. Like, I really got to think about what I hate about you most, or what is your biggest insecurity, like, and like sit and like meditate on it. And then I like can kind of craft something. I mean, I could probably come up with a pretty good one if you let me sit for a minute, but.
I would love for you to sit for a minute.
And just come up with a good roast for you.
Now, when you're doing this, are you trying to hurt the person, or are you trying to be funny, or both?
Funny, mostly.
Then why does it have to be on somebody's insecurity as much as just something?
Because the best ones are just something that's so specific.
Even if the audience doesn't know what their insecurities are?
Well, it's you know what it is? It's thinking of something that no one else has said about this person that is original, that has not been said before, and everyone goes, whoa, I see it so much. So the problem there is I might alert you to something about yourself that you've never been insecure about, and now it's a new thing. Like,
I don't think so.
I thought that too, Rick, but then I did roasts and people said things about me that I was like,
what was something that somebody said about you? Like when Blake said you look like Larry Bird?
I mean, that was like, I get that. It's just
joke.
like a blonde guy. Yes.
Oh,
but like,
you think it was a blonde guy thing? I thought it was about the lips. I thought it was about your stupid lips.
I do have thin lips.
I thought it was about your white trash lips.
See, white trash lips. I like do feel like I have white trash. Like that to me, someone, I get really offended with looks things. Even if they're so ridiculous, I can find a way to be like, he
Yeah,
really
you look
didn't
like a
mean
Paris filter wouldn't do anything for you. Like that kind of stuff? Get me.
Well, that actually would feel good because that means that like you already are so beautiful, Paris.
Right.
wouldn't even.
That's kind of saying you couldn't get any better than this.
Yes. Like a Paris, you already have one on. Like you were born with one, you know?
Right. Oh, wait. Paris, what are you talking? I was talking about on Instagram when you swipe it.
Yeah,
it's
I am
just,
too.
Does the Paris filter, it just changes the hue. It doesn't make people prettier.
No, it filters your skin tone. It makes you look so much prettier. You might convince yourself it's just a hue fix.
I've never done those because it always looks like something.
It takes your skin tone out. Like there's no shadow on your face at all.
I want to see if it works. One sec. Here it is without a filter. Now here it is with a filter. We'll be right back. Wow, those filters certainly make a difference. That pimple was gross and had very thin lips. But you know what? For a woman, she was funny. Nikki, I'm just joking. I'm doing one of those classic Comedy Central roast jokes. But you know what is really funny? All the shows around the world that because of the region you're in, you just don't have access to it. With ExpressVPN, you can watch all of your favorite shows or some of the shows you might not even know about that are streaming all around the world from different countries. But it's not all just fun and games. Did you know that your internet service provider knows every single website you visit, and they could sell your information to tech giants who could use ads to target you? Yeah. You want to talk about a Comedy Central roast? How about this? They're watching you. Well, I have good news and I have great news. The good news is ExpressVPN is the world's #1 rated VPN by CNET, Wired, The Verge, and countless others.
What's the great news, Rick?
Well, that's that you could get an extra 3 free months by visiting expressvpn.com/TYSO. And in case you can't bemember, here's a little jingle to help you remember. 2, 3, 4. That's expressvpn.com/TYSO. Okay, push in. Notice when I snap on the way back, we have new And We're Back merch. And we're back. So when Facebook, I've been going on Facebook a bit recently.
Really?
Yeah, because this year I got into some Facebook Magic the Gathering chat rooms because I've been trading, buying, and selling Magic cards. Mm-hmm. And Facebook is the market. It's where the community is. So now I'm checking Facebook all the time to see what new stuff is being posted and what prices, etc. And it's nonstop Steve Harvey Family Feud clips, which, oh my God, it's amazing. Do you agree?
I don't enjoy him.
Oh.
And on that show, because I mean, now it's almost hack to make fun of it because so many people have called it out, but I've never it's comedy that is, it's just the worst jokes, and they're presented like it's spontaneous and unexpected, and then he acts shocked when he sees everything.
He's acting.
He's in it, but
you know what? Tell me if this changes.
It's fun.
Are you open to a perspective shift?
Oh yeah, I want to go on the show, and I'll take all this back. But
check this out. If you're looking at it as jokes, I could agree with you. But if you're looking at it as just playing games with families, for example, let's say we were playing Monopoly.
Yeah.
That's not that fun. You need to throw in energy and little silly bullshit
throw in
jokes.
Eyebrow raises and.
You know what? I get it. It works for me. In fact, it works for me so well that I might. Is it cultural appropriation to put on a mustache if it's a black guy's mustache? Are you doing a Steve Harvey impression?
I think as long as
it's folded anyway.
As long as you don't. Yeah, I think it'd be fine.
It folded.
Oh, it folded.
Yeah.
The whole idea.
Okay. Oh, whoa! I didn't realize how insecure I was about my folding ideas.
Yeah.
But Jesus.
Oh well, it's.
So, the reason I bring it up is Steve Harvey clips and the roasts. Facebook is showing old.
I know.
Roast clips, and you're all over the place.
It's because it's fast, and it's like, and I'm all over that thing. That's been my main why people know me, and I knew that going into it. Like I've always wanted to do roast. I know that's how you. I knew I could kill them, and it was like.
I'm going to be interrupting you,
son.
Why could you kill them? Why do you know that?
Because I'm a good joke writer, or I know what's a good joke. I'm willing to say things that are shocking. Wait, that's 2. I'm willing to say things that are shocking. And I have great comedic timing in terms of delivering punchlines.
How does your skill set differ from other good comedians who maybe roast wouldn't be a platform for them?
I like setup punch. I like really. I started out as like a one-liner. Like I like Stephen Wright, Mitch Hedberg. That's what I started out as that.
Do you remember one of your earliest jokes?
Yes.
One-line jokes? And instead of saying the punchline, could I guess it?
Yes, I love that idea. Okay. Are
you cold? Do you want to put something?
No,
you want a sweatshirt?
I do that. I sit like this. It's really weird. I twist my legs like this.
I was gonna give you a goblin sweatshirt if you want to put it on.
I'm about to get cold and like I'm just not cold yet.
You'll let me know.
But I will let you know when I get cold. And I want to rep Swift. Okay, so what was the question?
You're gonna tell me some of your setups, and I'll see if I could figure out a punchline.
Okay. Here's an early joke. Let me think of the best one. My mom is. You'll definitely get this one, but it's one of my first ones. My mom likes to drink a lot. I don't like to say she's an alcoholic. I mean I can. It's weird because you could say she's. Wait, hold on. Let me start over.
Okay.
My mom like drinks a lot, and I don't like to say she's an alcoholic, but she is a shopaholic because she like is addicted to buying
big fucking hairy nuts and dicks and cum.
How did you know that?
I've been a fan of yours for a long time.
That is crazy because to even get the order right like that.
Tell me another one.
Okay, so I got pulled over by a cop the other day, and I did the girliest thing. I started crying to get out of the ticket, but that's normal for me. I always cry when I
get penetrated from my puss, my ass, my mouth, my tits, and my fucking nose. You fucking bitch, motherfucking fucking piece of shit, losers. Oh, and by the way, pigs. Yeah. I ain't talking about the farm animal. I'm talking about, fucking losers or something. That was
it.
Yeah.
I was doing like you did exactly it. That's crazy.
Now for everybody who's mad at me for not being able to hear the punchlines, what were they?
They were my mom is not
one was
alcoholic. What?
The second one was getting fucked by a man in power.
Blowing a cop. I think it was.
Okay.
It was like I always cry after blowjobs. So it's like I cried to get out of this ticket. Like it's a girly thing to do, but I always cry after sex. Oh, after sex, and I always tell that joke to get out of ticket.
Do you really? Has it gotten you out of a ticket?
It did back in the day. I haven't been pulled over in like 20 years or something, but not 20, but like probably 10 years. But those 5 years that I had that joke written, I don't know how long it's been, but I did it a couple times, and I actually have a joke about this. I'm a comedian on the way to a show. I have a joke about getting pulled over by a cop, and they're like, "What is it?" And I tell it, and I'm like, I think I was like, "Oh, that's really appropriate," but he laughed, and then he was like, "You can go."
As somebody who's sensitive of hack material,
yeah.
Is there an insecurity, since it's such an old joke of yours, where you feel like I can't? This joke isn't good enough, or I've done it too many times, or is it a tool in your tool belt? Does that question
joke
make
is
sense?
just a good to tell you those jokes that I just wrote.
No. What I'm saying. Well, I assumed something for myself that I put on you. Are there jokes that you've done so many times and/or for that it's gone for a long period of time where you maybe don't want to tell it anymore?
Yeah, I don't
judge it.
There's no way it's really that funny. It's just I see where it's going because I've told it 1,000 times that it's taken any kind of like comedic. Just like it takes
spontaneity.
It takes the fun out of it for me because I'm just like it's just at this point I'm just pressing play.
But could you still do it?
Yeah, I bust out old jokes sometimes where I'm like, when I was young, when I first started, I wrote a lot of really good jokes. I look back and I'm like, it's a reason why people were like, you've got something. I mean, it took years for me to learn how to perform, but like I was always a good joke writer.
I had a few jokes in particular, but there were jokes that everyone is wrong. Well, you're wrong. This is so funny. And I couldn't and I didn't even know that I didn't figure out what the joke was.
I have those still to this day that sometimes I'll go, like I was trying to talk about how, I mean, it was probably one of my first jokes when I went to a Counting Crows concert and I was front row and I touched Adam Duritz, the lead singer, like everyone was touching his arm. He like put out his arm and I was like, I'm going to be bold enough. I was in high school and I like touched his dreadlocks, which you're not supposed to touch a black guy's hair. Black people's hair, but he has black people's hair on a white guy, so it's okay. I think.
Could you say?
He's white, I think.
Could you say he's white? I think if you don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's white. Well, I didn't know not to touch anyone's. You shouldn't touch anyone's hair, really. And I like went like this to his dreadlocks, and I always used to say when I told the story that I like brush my hands through it like wind chimes, like a gentle wind chime. And that line the other night, I was just telling the story randomly on stage, and that really like popped. And I was like, that's never gotten anything. I don't understand, but it's just I'm more comfortable on stage, so people are just more. And maybe it's because I'm more famous, so they just laugh at everything I say. But there's some things I bring back that I'm like, that literally has never resonated, and now people are like, that wind chime thing is so funny. I'm like, what? Like,
I know what it is.
What?
It's just a downbeat. It's just a throwaway joke that you can't treat it as a punchline. But if you just add it into something, it basically doesn't start a wave, but it helps you ride it.
It's just a detail of a story that has more to it than. That's when you're young. You just like come up with this joke, and you're like, that's the whole joke.
Yeah,
and it's like all this setup, and then it's that joke, and you're like,
that's
no.
not a payoff.
And then you take those right. Then I don't think I think I had it as a detail even before. It's just an example of a one line that I'm like, I thought that was garbage, and I put it back in. So I'm dropping in stuff all the time. And there's so much stuff when I started early on that I did on the Tonight Show in like 2000. I don't even know.
Are you comfortable talking about your age?
Yeah, I'm 36.
Today?
37 in like a couple weeks.
Oh, you're June 4th, aren't you?
June 1st.
1st.
Yeah, are you a June?
I'm July.
Oh.
You did it.
How old are you?
36. Today?
Today?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No, you said July.
No, my birthday's in July. Today I'm 36.
Oh my God.
It's a classic.
Rick, that's a really good joke.
Do you like it?
That's actually great.
Can I tell you why that joke works?
Why?
It's a throwaway joke. You couldn't. That joke doesn't work if you do it like this. Here's why this joke doesn't work. Hey, Nikki, I'm 36 years old today.
What do you mean? Why wouldn't that work like that?
I'm saying say
I
like,
go,
oh,
today's
really?
your birthday?
No, it's in July, but I'm 36 today. It's like, okay.
No, that's a good joke still. You
Really?
can start every set. That would be a killer joke. As I would literally tell any comic, that's a great opener. Hey guys, so I'm 36 today.
If that's
people go, happy birthday, and you go, oh, it's not my birthday. It's just like, I'm 36 today.
Boom! That's a throwaway joke.
No, it's not a throwaway joke. What a throwaway joke? It's a very clever, like short, fast joke. But that's what you want at the top of your set. Comedians that just try to get a laugh. Don't go into a bit. Like because especially if they don't know who you are yet. Like if you're like going up there and there's an audience of people that might not already be a fan of yours. You got to win them over right away in the shortest amount of time. Like, get a laugh, make the shortest joke possible. So that's perfect. I would open with that almost exclusively.
So well, first, before I forget,
because you could go into anything about that. I'm 36. I'm single. Like, it takes you anywhere.
I did used to open with. I know what you're thinking. What did Andy Samberg and David Schwimmer do? They have kids?
I love that.
And then I don't know if they. I'm a
because
fan of them both.
Because anyone that
but
laughs like at the joke itself is just like, that's that I'm this, a mixture of these two people makes people laugh, and then you're presenting it like knowing that it's hack, and so anyone that knows that it's hack, it's like you get both.
My reason for that is I'm glad it gets a laugh, and I wanted to get a laugh with it, and I don't really do that much anymore. But my point was, I learned this trick for me on that joke, which is, we need to get a laugh right away. We need to get them to trust us, like us at least.
Yeah.
But what I found is, people don't know when I'm joking or when I'm not.
Yes.
So if I do a joke up top that is obvious enough where they know my intention, but different enough to where they're like, oh, I'm going to have to question things.
That's perfect.
So I realized
that's the stage.
I have to do jokes where they're like, whether they like it or not, it's not up to me. But they won't not like it because they didn't understand to question it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is, we're comfortable enough on stage now that we can say anything, and like as long as people are comfortable, they'll laugh. But if the second they're worried about you can be the funniest person, but if you look awkward, it's really hard for people to laugh. But if you could, I'd rather be I think you'd be more successful as the most comfortable person that's not funny in this business than if you were the funniest person who wasn't comfortable. I think that's how important being comfortable on stage is.
Yeah. I do think that. I think it's less about comfortable, and we don't have to debate this, but this is the stuff I love.
I love these kind of talks.
It's less about how comfortable you appear and more how much, consciously or subconsciously, the audience trusts that you are doing everything you're doing on purpose.
Yes.
Because there are times I go up on stage and I get very nervous sometimes.
You do?
Very nervous.
Like, well, give me an example. The last time you got really nervous.
I don't.
And how does it manifest? Okay, so you're backstage and you're nervous.
So you're up next, and I'm up next, and I realize I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right? And that's terrifying because not that I think I can't talk for 5 hours nonstop. It's just that I don't you could look at it as confidence, which it is. It's a lack of confidence, but it's more than that. It's, I don't know what I'm doing. They're going to know I'm fake.
Yeah.
So I've talked about this on this podcast before, but has really helped me on stage, but in life, is when you're nervous and you're going into an audition or on stage or a date or whatever, and I don't want you to know I'm nervous, I am now reaching into my tool belt. I'm getting the sweat off my palms. I'm trying to not shake my hands. I'm thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing, and all of that is getting in the way of being present. Me being nervous isn't bad. In fact, it's so likable if they're doing this honestly. So
Honesty.
I have decided that whenever I'm nervous, and it also kind of helps this, is I'm not going to pretend I'm not nervous.
Yes, just be honest.
Yeah, and be nervous, and it's like confidence and insecurities.
It's, you know what? It's not confidence and it's not comfortability. It is honesty.
Yeah.
That's if you find a way to be honest on stage and really say exactly what you're thinking with no trying to get them to feel any way about you. That is the golden ticket. But you cannot fake that. It only comes with like actually getting there and being confident in yourself and liking yourself.
Getting there, meaning like
Accepting
having
yourself.
the ability. Yes.
Yeah, and being like, whatever I say, they're not gonna. Comedians make jokes about the things they're actually. They might make jokes about their vulnerabilities and things that they were once ashamed of, but to actually be totally authentic and to be totally. Just call out anything that's happening. Like the other day I was on the Tonight Show and I threw open my arms and my dress opened and I didn't know if my tit had fallen out because I couldn't see the Zoom, so I didn't know what anyone had seen. And I was like, in that moment I had to like talk to myself and be like, you didn't mean to do that. You're not a bad person because you did that. It was a mistake. Let it go and let's go. Just be like, oh my God, that happened. I didn't mean, like, just be honest about it.
Because I saw your clip, but I didn't see the whole interview.
Yeah, I just kept going and then just
I saw your clip. I'm sorry.
Right.
Does that joke make sense?
Yeah, because, well, Mike, yes.
I guess.
I'm showing that on Conan on Tuesday.
Are you doing Conan Tuesday?
No, but...
I do have a lot of questions, but I want to keep this. Are we all comfortable in this pocket?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, you are also talking about just showing ourselves. I'm literally covering my face with a bandage.
Yes, being honest and like just... I don't know. I got into comedy so I could control the narrative about myself. And because I was so hated who I was and I could make this control all the bad things about me. I could make jokes about them before you made jokes about them. But really the things I was talking about were the things I was okay admitting about myself. But the things I wasn't okay admitting about myself that I was hiding from stage, like the real shit that I'm like, it's almost too sad to even talk about. I don't know how to talk about because I was in it. Now that those things are in my past, and now the things that bug me about myself now, I could talk about because...
Is there anything you don't want to speak on?
Like,
which is oxymoronic.
No, there is. Like, there's my my love life, like the relationships that I'm trying to actually pursue that are going to be like possibly a husband or something. I don't want to like fuck with those before I feel really like safe about it, and I know that the person feels safe about it because I've done that in the past where I like talk about boyfriends and stuff or like people I'm dating, and it's just I don't need to do that. It's for myself even more than them.
Are you comfortable with when you have a new boyfriend or girlfriend?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Just thinking about lesbians make me burp, and there's nothing about that is judgmental. It's just it's a chemical thing.
The pussy burps.
Yeah, thinking about gay guys makes me fart, but I'm sure you know why. Is there something that is scary for you to have somebody that you're dating see you perform?
Yeah, because I actually was performing. I went to hang out at a show last night, and there was a guy there that I was like have a slight crush on, and I'm like, I feel like he likes me, and like,
what's his name? We'll put his Instagram handle up here.
Yeah. and I realized like I don't, and everyone goes, go Nick, you got to go up on the second show, and it's like a great show, and I'm just like, I don't want to. When I'm on stage, I am not in the energy of the way I want to be in a relationship. Like I don't mind if a guy that I am dating watches me and goes, oh my God, you're amazing. You're so good at that. You're talented. I don't need that from him, but I want them to obviously be like, oh, you're funny. But a guy that's attracted to the character I am on stage, not the character, but the version of myself I am on stage.
How is the version of you on stage different?
I just like when I'm in a
What is
relationship
this?
and want to be.
Is this stage? Is this relationship? Or is this podcast?
I'm kind of being a little bit vulnerable here, so I'm not as in my funny and like ball busty and like I'm on top. So like I'm a little bit more vulnerable right now. So I'm probably. You can smell that from here.
I could see. I put in brown smoke.
Oh, okay, yes.
Something out of fart smoke should be brown, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, if you could see farts,
Go ahead.
that would be terrible. I mean,
That's more throwaway. Okay, so you don't need
see farts.
you don't need him or her fart burp. Haha, my arms are tired. You don't need their person to see you perform because you don't need the validation.
I'm in a different energy. I've been reading a lot about. I struggle in relationships, and I struggle with being like letting someone love me and also like being vulnerable. And I think that being on stage, there's no vulnerability in it, even though it looks so vulnerable. I'm in control. I'm in this like kind of masculine energy. It's a very masculine energy thing to do, stand up and being like telling it like it is and like controlling a room's emotions. And it's really like, there's nothing that can be sexy to men, but the kind of man, I like masculine energy men. So masculine energy men are not really attracted to that. That doesn't mean I can't be that, but in a relationship and like a date, where I'm around a new guy that I like, I want to be in that feminine energy. So I was backstage with this guy kind of being like sitting like this and just like, like being like, like being a girl and like trying to look pretty and like kind of like, because I want him to be like the man. And then I have to go on stage and be like, so my pussy. And it's just like, I begged him not to watch. I tried to get all my friends to like talk while I was on. So like, not that he would not be into me anymore, but I wasn't comfortable knowing that he could see that too early.
Okay.
Before he loves me already
All right,
and accepts me.
You not letting him see that too early is the same thing about not putting your ugly pictures on Instagram.
I put ugly pictures on Instagram.
I'm saying the analogy.
Yes.
What we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Put your ugly pictures on stage in front of him.
It's not the same. It's Rick, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
Okay. Then when let's say you guys start dating.
Yeah. Immediately, as soon as he loves me, you can watch me on stage anytime.
Gotcha.
And you can
so
even
you
before
think,
then. But
I don't think they're not going to love you if they see you perform.
No, it's not that they're going to love me, but I want.
We'll be right back with a word from ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN.com/TYSO.
Oh my God, are you telling me you get all of that with 6 months free?
It's nuts. But tell me what you were saying.
It's insane. I was saying that it's not about that they're not going to be attracted to me. There are many men that are attracted to me when I'm on stage. I get DMs all the time about it. But and that's not to say I count those guys out, but that's not who I am in a relationship. I'm submissive in a relationship. That doesn't mean like you tell me what to do and you boss me around and you like choke me in bed.
Take your
Only
shirt
one
off.
of those. I'm trying to be in my masculine energy right now.
You know what the problem is? Not the masculine energy. It's that you're trying.
Not trying to be. I am in that. It's like I am so comfortable on stage. That's like I am myself.
Yeah.
But that self is not the same one. Like this, when I'm horny, like I was recently working on a show and I was working with someone that I had a crush on. And so sometimes I would get like horned
tell
up.
me?
No. And I had to get like horned up. I would get like a little bit like turned on talking to like flirting with this person. And then I would have to go into a scene and be like, hi, I'm Nikki Glaser. And it was like, I sometimes couldn't shift between those. And so I'd be like, hi, I'm Nikki. Like I would be like a little bit more, because when I want to go on stage and be like killer. And I obviously have a guy that loves me come watch that. But when we get in the car, I just want to be like more like this. And like, I just want to be like this in a relationship.
Could I give an analogy and you tell me if that's the same kind of thing?
Yeah.
When I go in for an audition and I'm playing a high energy character, I like to go into the room, low energy, looking down, not making eye contact, not being big energy. So they see, look at Rick could make choices as opposed to, oh, that's just who Rick is.
Yes, it's nothing like that, actually. These are the natural things. Like it took me a really long time to realize this about myself, because I would try to sustain. I'm like, oh my God, like let's say I used to date comics. You're around them, they're hilarious, they're hot. Like I loved comics, but comics are comics are female energy. That's weird. Anyway,
What am I?
you're probably feminine energy, man, in a relationship. Which doesn't mean like you're like gay. It just means like you. Oh, wait, let me ask you this. I'll tell you right now what you are in a relationship. Who made the first move with you and your lady?
I messaged her for a year.
Okay, you're the masculine energy then. Yeah, you call the shots
Hell
in the
yeah.
relationship. So one person in a relationship needs to have their feelings cherished, and the other person has to have their thoughts respected. But you can't be both.
Well,
And you can shift, but you
I
both
need to have
shift.
my feelings and thoughts respected and
Then you're a
nourished.
narcissist, and you don't. Just
But I
love
do it.
anyone.
I give it back by being hilarious and charming.
How long you guys been together?
2 years
Oh wow, that's
in
great.
September. So a year and a half.
My pants are unbuttoned.
That's what I did the clit joke earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me my pants were unbuttoned the whole time?
I'm masculine energy. But also, I'm not going to defend the narcissist thing because the truth is...
I am too. I struggle with it too.
Oh, I don't think I'm a narcissist, but I guess which ones do? I think I'm selfish.
Yeah.
But I'm also... But
I have a tendency to be. Yeah, I agree.
I also...
Can we get back to me?
I'm sorry. Your thoughts
so
are
I don't
valuable.
think that I'm a narcissist, but I just
Can we
want to
get back to
more.
me? I don't think I'm a narcissist.
I meant to do that as a joke, Rick.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then why did you put a hat on the hat of the joke?
Because
when you call it out, it makes it seem like I might not have meant that, and it's like, it's like your joke but worse.
There's the difference.
Kind of thing on Reddit.
You're worried about me thinking you didn't know the joke was good.
No, I'm worried about your audience thinking that I didn't know.
What'd you guys think? If you guys thought that Nikki meant to do that,
dump this coffee on my head so bad. I don't know why I keep wanting to do that.
Do you ever watch a? I also want to put that out. If you think that Nikki did that on purpose, say Nikki looks beautiful without a filter. If you think she didn't, say Nikki has white trash lips. Put it in the comments. Do you ever, when you would date comics, would you ever see them on stage and assume that's who they are based on who they were on stage?
Oh yeah, every time. Because a lot of them are. I mean, I'm friends with enough that I do know that they are like that off stage.
But you're not.
I am. I would be consistent. But then I learned that the kind of guy I want isn't. I don't want to be that. Like, I would try to be whatever I thought guys wanted, and I thought guys wanted. I don't know what I now I'm just myself. When I'm in a relationship, I just want to be like this.
But why aren't you that on stage?
Because that's not the way I feel. When I'm on stage, I'm like in control and powerful. I'm like, I'm a woman that can do anything.
And you can't be that in a relationship because then what the guy you want won't like that.
No, I won't get what I want in a relationship because I want a guy to treat me like a little baby in a relationship. That's what makes me feel good.
But I'm a masculine energy, right? I got a huge dick.
Yeah.
And I love fucking girls and counting money.
It's not about having a huge dick, by the way. Feminine energy men can have huge dicks and really dick you down.
I knew that. You're putting a hat on the hat. What I'm asking is, as a masculine,
dick on a dick.
As a masculine energy, I need to be babied.
Yeah. Okay.
So how is that different?
Well, you might need to be babied in a part of your relationship where she might switch into. So if you want to be babied in a circumstance in your relationship, then your roles would switch, but you both can't be the baby. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
So like in a relationship, on stage.
I think we take turns.
Yeah, you flip. You always have, but the yin and yang has to flip. And because sometimes in a relationship, there's you might be a masculine energy man, and then she is a feminine energy woman. Then all of a sudden you get sick or something, and you need to be tended to, and she still wants to be that. She can't switch for you. Then your relationship is going to suffer.
She
might not be out, but it will suffer because she's like, I'm the baby. So she has to be able in those moments to switch with you, and then you can stay in the symbiosis.
That's the daughter of Mufasa, yes?
I believe.
What is the punchline to your mom being a alcoholic?
But I will say she's a shopaholic. She's like addicted to buying alcohol. She shops till she drops. Yeah.
Put in live studio audience laughter.
Oh my.
Have you noticed that when people laugh at jokes, it doesn't just make people think it's funnier, it actually becomes funnier. It's like taking laughs to me are like a frame where I could take this.
That's a good point.
This is nothing. It's just questions that I never got to.
You put it in a frame, and
if
it's
you
like,
put with
oh my
a nice
God, that's
mat,
art.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
I think in that way a lot. Like, how do you frame something? Because framing something changes context, but doesn't change the meaning.
Yes.
And I think that one of the external things in comedy is the laughs itself. And you could look at it from
like a ring light.
It's a ring light, which, by the way,
makes it look better.
A ring light, yes, it makes you look prettier, but the point you're saying is it just makes it look better. It's this podcast looks good.
Yes.
You're lit a certain way.
And
I edit it a certain way.
Things that look good are attractive to the eye and will get more viewers. That's why when you put your screen on grayscale or whatever, you don't want to look at it as much because it's not bright and like in your face. But good lighting just makes things. It's not to be hotter. It's just to be more like a beautiful picture that catches the eye and then steals people's attention. Did you just think
about a lesbian?
No, I kind of like burped. Oh yeah. Can I? Do you have I'm a little toasty.
Yeah, just snap.
Wait, I'm toasty. I said the wrong thing. Hold on. Can we wait?
You want to hold for sound?
Yeah.
Very
I mean,
masculine
it's
energy.
crazy. I'm in masculine energy a big time right now. I am. When I'm on mic. That's why I don't.
That's why I don't. No. We're snapping. We're done now. Don't move the microphone. You'll come back into that. No, that won't work. Leave all this in. Now, if I had to guess, you are a large? No, you're a medium.
I kind of like large sweatshirts so I can be feel like it's my boyfriend's. Like that's what boyfriend stuff. What did Charlotte Lawrence wear? That's all I want.
I think.
Did Kaya Gerber touch that one?
She
Did she sit in this?
No, they
she
sat
over
inside.
there.
It was before we were working on my show, and we all got tested day of.
I don't care.
It's more for them.
Oh.
You got to say that.
Well, yeah, you do have to say that, and you probably already said it a ton on that podcast anyway. So
I didn't, and I put it in the description because I forgot to say it.
Well, as long as it was there.
But there are some guests that want to come on the podcast that
And
are
then
they won't come on until they could be inside.
Oh, that's stupid.
And
that's what's funny about this. I like that it's outside. That's hilarious.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
good.
novel, but it's also a utility.
Yeah.
But point is, I feel like I need to get that out. That I have had to explain. I've had to say this. It felt like a PR move.
Yeah, I wanted to be like one of the teenage girls, like on a couch, like with Kaya and Charlotte, just like there's like the whole episode. They're just like, yeah, fun. Like I just want to be them so bad. That's what I messaged you. I was like, can I please do your show?
Is that part of the baby
wanna
thing?
Look like no. I just want to be like young. Like I am stuck in high school. It was the best time of my life. I just felt the freest. It was before I got like any mental illness, and I was just like having fun. And like I love that like teenage fun energy, and I just love those girls. Like that's.
So would you have it if you were with them?
Probably. It would probably like be a little exhausting after a while, but I think they actually seem. Well, I know Charlotte seems very deep, and if she's friends with Kaya, I bet that these young girls and boys now are more mature than like guys your age. Like guys now, because they were raised by moms who are more
alcoholics.
Less probably more self-assured, like have wellness, talk about feelings and stuff. And so girls now are just like, this is who I am, and they figured out so young. And it just took me this year. And now I'm like,
what
good.
Girls are in that, and also they're like very successful and they travel the world, so there's something to that.
Yeah, but they have good parents. They were raised well. They have. I look at Charlotte Lawrence and Kaya Gerber to have confidence, to be like, I want to be that free and confident and kind of like quirky and funny and weird, and not like care what people think. Yes, they're both supermodels, so it's like they can look like ugly or like vulnerable and like no makeup, and they still are like hotter than I could ever imagine to be. But I don't think that they think they're super hot. I mean, they must know. They know, but it's not like they're wanting something out of it. They're just themselves. They just remind me of, and when I say that I am actually comfortable with who I am, and that's why I say I'm like stuck at 15, because I just am being honest. Like I feel 15 still, and that's why I love Taylor Swift so much too.
What? I'm sorry, my headphones haven't been working. Okay, now we're out. I need to say something behind the curtains to you, because we're editing this out. We're going to go into a sweatshirt. That joke was you just went on for, and it was great. I loved everything. And I was pretending that you went on for a while. And then and your response to it made me a little insecure, that not that I necessarily hurt your feelings, but I negated you. And I just wanted to acknowledge that.
No, I was acting with you.
Lovely. I just want to make sure that I didn't.
No, I'm always with you. No, I get every joke. Hat on hat. I get what you're saying of being like, I wasn't being mean. That was a joke. Like I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know when what I just said. Oh, I'm probably keeping this in now because we're having a conversation. What I just said to you was based off of me making you feel bad. I don't know if I made you feel bad.
Right.
But over the past couple of years, I've learned that I'll do that and then just move. And then the people are like, he was this or that. So, and I also learned that people, when that happens to me, I will like, are you like making fun of me? I just don't understand what's happening.
Yes.
People don't do that, and that's fine. Everyone does their own thing. So I now, I guess.
I don't mind that you checked, because most people would have been like, because I sold it so much that you had to follow up, because most people would be like you said and think like, what, he's interrupting me or whatever. Because most people take things so personally. I just really don't take things personally. So even if I thought you did, I would just be like, he interrupts a lot, and like, I don't care. I'm not going to like,
it's a missed joke at its worst.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. I like that you have to clarify, because people do get so hurt about stuff, and you can't make me feel anyway is the thing. So like when we go, I feel like I made him feel bad, or you made me feel insecure. It's like, no, I chose to feel that way.
Yes.
So I truly know that about myself.
There's a difference between me taking full responsibility versus me taking part in an experience that my guest who did me a favor, who came on my balcony, didn't enjoy.
Right.
And I need to check in with that because I don't know intuitively. But
well, I'm going to give you a carte blanche of like being weird and like the meanest to me, and I will think it's a character.
I haven't been mean to you, though.
No, but like any
You white
risk
trash
you want.
whore.
Like that. But I'll also be. Here's the thing, Rick, I will let you know if I'm actually mad. Like, if I'm mad enough, I would never be like, he's such a dick, and wouldn't say it. If you were a dick to me, I'd be like, I'm actually going to leave. Like, I don't really do things I don't want to do anymore.
You'll go right to leaving?
No, but I'll be like, if it got to the point where I was like annoyed, but if you said something really rude, I'd be like, for instance, a dumb person would have thought what you just did. I would have been like, hey, when I'm in the middle of something that I'm like really passionate about and making a point, I would really appreciate if you didn't interrupt me.
But that's not dumb. That's okay.
Or like, that's not dumb. But I would have said that because I feel like my feelings are my feelings. I don't feel bad. And then you could have said, oh, I didn't really know that, and I was making a joke, and I'm yeah. Sometimes I would like want to be, because sometimes that does happen with friends where like I'm telling them something really serious. These like comic friends,
and the
of
energies
mine,
don't match up.
and they just like want to punch it up because they're so awkward with actually sitting in a feeling of me being like, you know, when I got assaulted this one time, like if I'm telling a story about like an assault or like a thing that happened to me in college with a guy or a weird thing, and they have to make a joke because it's so uncomfortable for them, and it just makes you feel like more alone than you already were with it, you know?
We'll be right back after a word from Marshall Rug Gallery.
Oh no.
You could change.
And we're back. Can I just say, any guy who's watching, I wasn't really farting. Because when you put in fart sounds, it really does make you think the person is disgusting. Even if you know they're fake and there's like stuff coming out. I wasn't really farting. Please know that I'm a feminine energy woman who's just a little baby and just wants to be taken care of and has never pooped or farted, but I do queef a lot.
So just so you know, as a guy who is...
Guys always say, I don't care. I like when my girlfriend farts. No, you don't. You're dick.
You know what I actually love the most?
What?
Is when a girl interrupts to tell me what I was going to say.
Well, I'm in my masculine energy, so I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm not trying to bang you.
You can't blame a negative character trait on masculine energy. All right? Now, let me tell you what I was saying, you thin-lipped bitch. As a masculine energy guy, I like when a girl could say, by the way, I didn't like when you did that. Or what? Something.
Yeah, I really like the fart thing. Like, is to me like I'm like, because
I wasn't talking about that.
No, but literally, Rick, with you, like, I will be honest. Like, I might be less likely to post a clip where I am animated farting because I know that guys that I'm into are watching my Instagram, and if they see a bunch of farts coming out of my butt on this thing, even if they know it's a joke, they still might have it subconsciously. Like, I was kind of grossed out by that.
Should I
like,
instead cut a clip together of all the times you talked about queefing?
No, that's why I keep putting, like, I think you should put this in.
Go ahead. Oh, this.
Like, this about, like, guys watching my stories. If you're watching my story right now and you're a guy that we have, like, kind of a thing going and you might be sexually attracted to me, please stop watching now because I'm about to do a lot of things. Hey, I'm Nikki Glaser. And if you're a guy watching my Instagram story.
This is your camera.
Hi, I'm Nikki Glaser.
What did you turn into? I'm sorry, but why'd you turn away? Are you getting into character? What was the turn away?
It's like funnier to just go like this.
It was for funny.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Nikki Glaser. And if you're a guy I'm talking to in a romantic way and you happen to be to watch... Hi, I'm Nikki Glaser. And if you're a guy who I kind of have a flirtation going on with and you might be interested in me sexually, please do not watch the following clip. Because if you have seen this of me, I'm probably never going to be able to actually be intimate with you because you've seen... Hi.
You know these are 15 seconds, right?
Hi, I'm Nikki Glaser. And if you're a guy I'm crushing on who's watching my Instagram story right now, you know I saw it. Because sometimes I remind the algorithm, like, hey, I like this guy. Put him at the top of my story so I can see who I'm watching my stories. If you're one of those guys, don't watch this clip because there are a lot of joke farts in it. And I don't want you thinking I fart because I want you to see me sexually.
Okay.
Oh, but that was my shoe.
Could you do that not as a...
Character?
Yeah.
Okay.
but you still have to turn into it.
Okay, I'll be.
You can turn into it, but turn into it as sincere as you can, not acting
Okay.
sincere.
All right, I'll be me.
No,
Hi, I'm Nikki.
But also be something that is attractive. Have a smile.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, I'm really trying to talk to a guy I'm trying to fuck. Okay.
Turn into it.
Hey, okay, I'm literally gonna talk to one guy that I'm actually
Turn into
thinking,
it and say
okay.
his name.
No, I can't say his name.
What does his name rhyme with? But it's a really off rhyme. Like when I saw somebody's talked about how when T-Pain rhymed Wisconsin with mansion or whatever, Wisconsin. It could be a far off rhyme.
Crack Saffron. If you're watching my Instagram story right now, you know I like you. Please don't watch this clip because I have a lot of animated, disgusting things coming out of this area, and I don't really do that in real life, and I want you to still be able to see me as a sexual being who you might wife up and, wait. I want it to sound like Zac Efron,
yeah,
but
I know.
it's like...
And now you fucked up my joke.
I know.
Can I do my joke? You didn't
what's
know.
your
Don't
joke
pretend
gonna
you
be?
knew.
I have a feeling that you were
I was going to say, if you want, I could set you over with Brad Siswan,
Who's that?
who I thought you were referencing, and I didn't know it was Zac Efron.
Did you say... Oh, wait. But yours doesn't sound like Zac Efron enough.
I'm going to blame this entire miss on you.
I'm just trying to do the disclaimer.
We got it.
Hey, you watching my Instagram story.
We got it. It's done. All right? It's buried. It's over. It's over. Now, Nikki,
Ricky?
you said you're terrified
our names are
of...
so close.
I was thinking I was thinking about that the other day.
So close.
Yeah. You know what the main difference is?
What?
The spelling. You've said you're terrified of commitment, including buying a house, etc.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that way?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You hosted, is it out yet, the MTV movie?
It's coming out Monday, so.
It'll be it came out actually a week ago today. So, and it was fun. It was good.
It was really, my part was great.
So it's
No, it was all good.
It was MTV Movie Awards for...
Movie and TV Awards unscripted.
Which means reality shows and unscripted movies? So like a podcast?
Reality TV shows.
Right. They just say movies because it's the brand.
Instagram star, or TikTok stars, stuff like that, yes.
Are you hip to all that stuff, or did you have to train for it, study up for it?
I just study some of the stuff, but reality TV in general is like my favorite kind of TV and the only stuff that I watch. So I was like, yeah, I'm perfect for this. I don't like scripted.
You're good at jokes
Yes, I do.
for roasts. You're good at joke writing.
Great at joke writing.
Can we talk about the process of like the roasts and this have the same thing in common, where here are your subjects and then have some fun with them.
Yeah.
So are you looking, and I'm going to give you some options, and then you could add on to your own. But are you looking for puns? Are you looking for jabs? Are you looking for here's an interesting take? Are you looking for here's what I know about it? What can I find? Obviously, there's no end to them. But is there a pocket, a bag of tools that you could like teach me? Here's kind of like how I get here's the clay I pick up at least.
Yes. Okay. So I started out for the MTV Awards. I was like, oh, you know what? I'll probably do like a roast thing, just great jokes. I kind of wanted to do like a Ricky Gervais, like Golden Globes, where it's like, I can't believe she's saying that, because just say what's honest in the room and go as far as you can without, or maybe just flirt with getting canceled or whatever. Like say something that honest that's going to get people talking, because the only way people talk about these things is if you go, let's say some crazy shit, or like just do. I was hired because I'm good at, let me just say this. At first I approached it like, oh, just have great like monologue jokes, roast jokes. And then I got into it and I was like, I actually have pretty interesting takes on reality TV and have almost like a bit to say, like a stand-up bits. Because the more I talked about the show, I was like, oh, I think that reality TV is like the best TV, and maybe I want to go off on a monologue about how this award show, because we approached it first, me and my writers were like, let's make jokes about the fact that there's an award show for reality TV.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
I hosted the MTV Movie and TV Awards unscripted, but
is
me
this
and
the
my
first
writing
time they
team,
did it?
Yes, it's the first one, and probably last.
You, Nikki Glaser, as a stand-up, as a host, etc. You have a writing team of some pals of yours. Or
yeah,
something.
well, MTV they hire a writing team for the show,
How
and
many people
I
are on your
suggested
team?
1, 2, 3.
Brian Fitzman. Oh, I thought you were doing a countdown, and I couldn't remember the Zac Efron name, and that's what I wanted to say.
3.
Could you say who they are?
Bonnie McFarlane, Micah Fox, and Connor McSpadden.
Any of them stand-up?
Yeah,
and
they're all stand-ups.
I apologize that I don't know.
Bonnie McFarlane, she's married to Rich Voss, but she was on Last Comic Standing. She's one of the best comics ever. She was my head writer. She's one of my favorite comics of all time. Like when I started out, she's like just so just one of the best joke writers.
Does she write for other comedians too?
I think she has written for other comedians before. But yeah, I mean, like she's a writer, but she's also just an amazing performer. And just,
Stand-up
I can't
too?
even believe.
I mean, for you, does she help write with your stand-up?
She's given me like tags before, I think, and I maybe have sent her like an hour when I was about to tape it, being like, "Do you have any good suggestions for this?" But not so much stand-up. But I would hire her for stand-up if I needed that help, or if I had to like.
Would you be comfortable crediting her for if it was your stand-up?
Yeah, I've credited people like.
On your stand-up special?
Not on it. Well, I've done special thanks, but I wouldn't say writer because
I understand.
it just. But I would admit to it. Like when
But you're
people go, "Oh my god, I
comfortable
love
taking
that one tag," I go, "Oh, Emmy Blotnick wrote that. Harris Whittles wrote that." Like I will always give people credit when they ask later if they go that one joke, and I go, "Oh, that doesn't even make me feel
But what
good."
about
because
people who don't ask? Do you think those people are upset, or are they giving it to you knowing that? There's a difference between giving somebody a tag or a joke or a premise versus sitting down and going to work.
If I pay
writing
them
on
enough money so that I don't have to say their name every time I say it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like the girl, the singer that you like a lot, right? Wasn't
Taylor
that how?
Swift?
Yeah.
What does she do?
Wasn't that I don't know if that's a controversy or I just have bad inside information.
What?
But as my understanding, when she first started, she helped pay. There was her family helped pay some writers to get her started, but she took them on as her own. I know she writes her own stuff.
Well, if they got paid to write and then they were paid off to say
Yeah,
like that
like
she
Edward
wrote.
Norton does that.
Really? Oh, interesting. He pays people to act for him?
No. I understand that he ghostwrites things.
He ghostwrites things?
But I don't remember
Edward
where I'm
Norton,
hearing this.
wouldn't he want his name? Like, these people are comfortable, I think, giving up the fact that they wrote it. But, like, if I could never be someone's writer, because I want people to know that was me, you
Right.
know?
That's
But,
why I'm asking.
I have no problem telling people when I will never tell someone I wrote something that I didn't write. But I'm not going to go in my special, because if I write written by, that seems like it could have been the whole thing when really it was one tag. I'm
understand.
sorry. I'll pay you $1,000 for that tag.
You know, I
so
feel
don't
that
have
way
to-
about my podcast because some episodes I edit everything. Some episodes I edit most. Some episodes I edit only a little.
so to say that you're like the editor.
Perry edits the most with me. So
Okay.
it's usually Perry and me. But there are sometimes when Perry only does a little bit.
Yeah.
And I did most of it, especially like if there were some really fun edits. I still put both of our names, but there's a...
Like McCartney and Lennon.
What do you mean, saying whose name's first or between the
No,
two of them?
McCartney and Lennon, they promised each other no
That they would
matter what,
always-
they would always do co-writing on
Well, we
whatever
never
songs they
discussed
wrote.
this, but there's just an
Maybe me
acknowledgement
too.
of ego where I'm like, I'll do it, but I don't want. But also, there are times that Perry does more than me, and I
And
put
it's
both of our
your
names.
Yeah.
It
so-
and it doesn't matter if I do more. What matters is if there's a certain part that's like that's fucking fire.
And I want I want people to know I did that.
The more I've just accepted that, like, in a way, it doesn't matter. Stand-up's different, and it's way more personal than a podcast that with a lot of moving parts. I get that, but I could care less at in fact, I could care less at this point, and it's
With
so.
what?
If
about
somebody
that kind of
doesn't
thing?
know that I did that, also maybe there's something to it's still my podcast and I'm in charge of it.
Oh, I still
I don't care.
desperate for credit on things that are like great, like that I've done. I want to be like I did. I will admit that that's really important to me.
I probably would be too outside of the podcast.
And
I think I'm
anytime I've
talking
done a
just about
tag
this.
for someone, I have never once watched someone do a tag I wrote for or a joke I wrote from them and won't say to the person next to me, I will find someone next to me if I'm watching in the back of the room and go, I wrote that.
I understand.
It's never once happened where I could just shut my mouth and go, let him have it.
Are your writing team getting credited on this? Hosting thing?
Oh yeah.
And what does it say? It just says writers. It doesn't say Nikki Glaser's writers.
No, it doesn't. But they were my writers, and I got to choose them, which was great that MTV let me do that. But I have writers on the roast too. Like the roasts are a big thing because people are always like,
Yeah.
I love your roast, and I always, and they go that one joke, and I go, I didn't write that. Like when people compliment jokes I did write, because if I wrote my whole set, I would need a little bit more time than they give me.
Yeah.
Like I hire
long
a
do you
staff. I think I usually get like a couple weeks and sometimes probably 2 weeks. And that's just, it's always happens in my life when I have a ton of other shit going on and I don't have time to write jokes all day. I barely have time to read all the jokes that come in. I get so many jokes written for me. I spend all the money I make on roasts on writers because I want the best fucking set ever.
Right.
And a lot of those jokes happen to be the jokes
What
I
happens?
wrote.
Do you have your writers and
Yeah.
you say go, or do you say categories?
I go, here's what I want to do. So Blake Griffin's on it, and I want all my jokes to be about how I want to sleep with him.
Right.
And they're like, well, you're supposed to roast him. And I go, I don't know how you're going to do that, but that's the angle. This is what I tell them. I go, this is how I feel about this person. This is my thoughts about Bruce Willis. I've never seen these movies. I think he's this, and like I say my personal opinion about him so that
Do you have a crush on Blake Griffin?
No, I like the thing about Blake Griffin was, yeah, he's so fucking hot. I was gonna be sitting next to him on stage all night. It would be hilarious to just. I have an easier time shooting my shot or like letting someone know I have a crush on them when I'm on
Question:
stage.
If I had some merchandise where I sold exclusive, limited edition, amazing foil, take your shoes off, collectible trading cards with Blake Griffin as Marvel's Colossus, would you buy one?
No.
Do me a favor. Don't say no.
Okay. I'm not gonna say no.
Okay. We'll put up I do trading cards. The first one, which we might be sold out by the time this comes out. We have a few left. I think we're actually sold out now. I have some trading cards.
I'd buy 2.
Hi, guys. It's Rick Glassman from the Take Your Shoes Off podcast. My arms are tired. That's what she said. Snapping, we're back. Poop goes the dynamite. Hey, guys, where's my salami? You know all of the slogans, but I'm here to talk to you about something serious. We're talking about our TYSO collectible card merch. We just started sending out the first edition Rick Goblin cards this week. We are almost out, but good news, there is a new drop, and it is the Blake Griffin card. If you want to get yourself a Blake Griffin first edition, head on over to rickglassman.com and pick yourself up 1, 2, 3, 4. Prove it. Send me $34 right now.
Are you waiting? I'm just checking my texts. Oh, you thought I was like Venmo or something? No. Oh my God, no.
So what happens? Blake Griffin has a crush. You have a crush on Blake Griffin.
Well, I think he's hot, and I was like, I'm gonna look dolled up that night. I'm gonna be kind of a star. I'm gonna be on the same. I'm gonna be sitting next to him.
And I mean this in the meanest way possible.
No.
Did you think that there was a certain level of funny you could be that would get him interested in you?
There is a certain level of like, holy shit, that girl is like a star. I want her because she.
Well, you did it.
Famous.
You were unbelievable on that roast.
Yeah, and so.
And did it work?
Yeah, he slid. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
We didn't meet up, but like he was like, the people have spoken. I feel like we should. And I was like, yeah, but we.
Why do you think it never happened? I also want to respect his privacy because he's not here.
No, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. Like he didn't actually. Well, like we had. I think we had exchanged numbers on DMs.
Cool.
But the way he followed up was like really sweet and wasn't like creepy at all. And like, I don't know. I
actually happen to have the DM. We'll put it up here.
What if you made me like a huge hey Blake, and then like a huge paragraph that you like blur, and then at the end it's like, so let me know when you'd like to meet up for sexual intercourse, and then have him go, who's this or something, like
Self-deprecating.
Yeah,
love it. I do want to get back into the writing process. You get how many jokes? Because you have to do what, 5 minutes?
Yeah, it's like something like sometimes I go like maybe 7, 8.
And
they cut it down to 4.
Yours was long. I feel like because you crushed so hard.
I always go a little like.
I figured because they don't edit you out, is what I thought, and they edit other people down.
No, they definitely edit me down for sure. There's jokes that I'm like, oh, they've taken out one joke every single year that I've done 3 years in a row, which Natasha Leggero gave me because she was gonna do a roast, and then she was like, she like didn't want to do it.
Shout out to Natasha Leggero. Put her Instagram handle here.
The funniest, and she gave me a joke that was like, I'll do it. Natasha Leggero, I forget how she talks.
That's it.
It's Comedy Central's been great. They let us Comedy Central's been great. They let us get away with anything. They really do. Or, this is more like this. Comedy Central's been great. They actually let us say anything. They only said don't say the N-word. Netflix.
And they keep cutting it out?
I fucked it up because I was trying to do her timing. Yeah, they take that out because Comedy Central doesn't want to remind people that Netflix exists. Or it's the N-word part, but I think it's the Netflix part.
I first saw Natasha Leggero when I moved out here, and I did a lot of background work, and I would do paid, be in the audience of things. And Whitney Cummings, it was the first time I saw her, too. She was hosting it. I don't know if it was her thing. I didn't know who she was. And at the time, I don't think people did. It was 2018. And... we didn't
know this version of Whitney that we have today.
Yeah, until the pandemic. She was unbelievable.
The best
And then I realized I did know her from Reno 911. Like I didn't realize that. I was blown away from her stand-up.
She is one of the best.
Yeah, she's really funny.
She is.
So you get a whole bunch of jokes, and they're written. They're not, because there are jokes, like you even said, you thought that joke was funnier with her timing. If that was written, you might not at least understand it the same way.
She did it. If my timing is good, if I was doing it as myself, but when I'm doing it as her, I fucked up the timing.
But when somebody writes a joke, unless they intentionally write it in your timing, do you want them to perform it for you, or do you want them to give it to you on paper?
I just see it and I go, okay, I know exactly
Here's
how
how
I'm
I
going
would
to say
do
this.
it. So
I'll paraphrase it.
So you go through a list and you read them.
Yeah.
And what do? You go circle the yeses, the maybes, and the nos?
Yeah, I'll go through like a Google Doc and like I hire a writer's assistant to keep it all, because I did the first 2 times I did the roast, like I was just like drowning in jokes and couldn't keep track, and I had too many Google Docs.
3 people send you, how many jokes do you get?
Oh, when I'm doing roast, I literally ask 20 people. Like, you know, comics I started with in St. Louis who are the best joke writers on the scene there. Like, guys that, you know, it's a good way for comics to make money and to feel. I wrote for my friend.
Do you pay all 20 people X dollars, or the more you use,
well,
the more you pay?
I start with a system. I say, I'll pay you this much to give me a batch, and then I might ask you for more. Yeah, fixed. And for your, like, maybe I do it like hourly, and then I go, and if I use one of your,
how long you
like, just
trust they'll write for 2 hours or 10 hours?
Yeah, well, I trust people to go, or maybe bump it up. I don't know. You deserve more money if you feel like you deserve more money, and fake your hours. I don't care. No one's gonna really like screw me out. They're my friends. And then what?
Do you pay the ones that make it, or is that?
And then if you get a joke on, I pay you a certain amount. And if and whether or not that joke airs or not, if I do the joke at the live show, whether or not it airs, I will.
So it's like when you do a movie, you get paid, and then if it grosses $1 million, if it grosses 10 million, like there's like levels where they get more money.
Right. No, but on this is a flat. Like because sometimes your joke gets cut, but I'll still pay for that joke because it could have been used, and you deserve that because I thought it was good enough to be used.
So you get all these jokes, and then there's a writer's assistant who you just trust knows your voice well enough to narrow them down?
No, I will go through them first, highlight it, then he'll like take them and put them in a doc, so I have them all, and then he'll give me those to go out with that night. And like I have someone now, because the last time I did it, I just felt I almost had like I was about to pass away from exhaustion because I was just like doing too much and trying to keep it all, and I just was freaking out. So I said, the next time I do it, I'm going to do it right and treat this like I'm just going to hire my own staff.
Can I ask a question? And I will. So I'm going to ask a question that really just tears the momentum and nobody cares about the answer, but I am curious. Why did you correct Passover, which is more accurate, to change it into something so hyperbolic?
Because I wanted to say pass out, but I said pass over, and then I was like, oh my gosh, pass away is funnier than pass out.
So you were
it.
correcting a joke, not
I said it. I said pass out wrong, and I said pass over, and then I was like, actually, it's funnier to say pass away, and so then
If you guys think it's funnier to say pass away, comment. I'm gonna edit myself.
Pass away from exhaustion is so much funnier than pass out from exhaustion.
Pass over though.
And pass over from exhaustion? No, that just sounds confusing.
Yeah. So, do you see these jokes and you go, because when you're doing an hour special, it's it's curating. It's a lot. If somebody said you have to do an hour special in 2 weeks, oh my gosh. If somebody said you had to do a late night special thing, which is just as long, it would be very tough.
Yes.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah.
So, is there a confidence in knowing that people got my back? There's a structure to this that is not me as much as my own 5 minutes. Does that make sense?
No, it's way more daunting. When it's just this 5 minute set that I can just
for late night,
for late night, it's like I've been doing that so much. I've been running those jokes for so many years. I can it's just so me, and I don't even entertain the idea of hiring writers for my stand up. But when it's like I'm delivering jokes like that, it makes me feel safe. Like for this MTV Awards, usually with the roast, I used to be like, I want a month or more to work on them. And now it's like, I will be stressed out that whole month. I could do it in a week. I want to keep it a week because it is intense. And for the MTV Movie Awards, I didn't start working on the monologue until a week and 2 days before, which is really late for me. And it was great. I'll get it done. I could do it the night before.
So you don't practice it in front of an audience?
I do. I take it around town every night. Like I was out doing sets every single night.
And do you like to be brought up as Nikki Glaser is trying?
No, I'll just go up, do a couple jokes, like do my stand-up
jokes.
And then go, hey guys, I'm hosting these awards, so let's just pretend we're there. Welcome to the MTV Movie.
Question: when you do that, do you then go, "Hey guys, to a couple? My mother is an alcoholic and she cries when I blow her or whatever," and then you go, "All right, I'm doing the MTV Movie Awards. I want to try them out." So Catherine Zeta-Jones, sorry.
Yes, I do.
So you do that? You like turn into it?
Yeah, I'll go like, welcome, like it's like I've done it so many times where I'm working out for roast sets and had to like teach audiences to be like, can you pretend like these people are here and this is this event? They kind of like it. It's like kind of a fun thing for the audience.
Is it a different feeling because now the audience
and I
is in on
read off my phone. I mean, like it's very like, so if it goes well while I'm reading off my phone and it's not the event, it's going to kill when I'm confidently saying it memorized and it is the event.
10 out of 10 times?
10 out of 10.
So do you go, while you're doing it, are you recording and looking for the ones that worked?
No, I don't. I mean, I do record it, but I've never listened back. I just know.
I do that too. I just
know.
Everything.
I have everything recorded, and I tell my parents if I ever die, you can release like the lost tapes of me. But that's the only
I'm sure
reason
they'll
I'm
be in a
keeping
rush. The stuff that Nikki didn't even want to listen to.
Yeah, no, there's some good shit on there, and they could make some money.
No, but my question is process.
Untimely death.
You go through. Okay, yes, highlight, right assistant, narrow it down. Here we go, we're practicing.
Yeah.
Now, are you still passing over through to find, all right, are you, like all of these you're doing, or is it I'm going to feel out how they feel doing it in front of this audience only keep the ones that felt right?
So I probably start with like 40 jokes, but I'm constantly getting new ones. So if any come in that are better, I'll replace
40 jokes
them.
translate in this format translates to how many minutes?
Like 20 minutes, probably.
30 seconds a joke.
Probably make more than that. So 25 minutes. Like I start with like a big chunk, but I won't do 25 minutes of roast jokes. That's too much. But I know what jokes are the best. And like I'll tell them to my friends and like, I just know which ones are really good. And then sometimes though, I'll be reading jokes, so many jokes that I just turn off my brain and I'll miss a really good one. So I really try to only read that many jokes and really be able to focus on the joke, because sometimes, or read them aloud to people in a car while I'm going to set. Like, I just got new jokes. Can I read this to you? And then if any of them are like, that's good, then I'll put it in that night. And I can memorize a joke like that. So once I get it, I don't have to, but then I go through and I can look down and go, okay, so this next one, and then I work on the wording. And then the hard work is just figuring out the order, figuring out.
Tell me why the order is so important. I have my thoughts. So defensive the way I said that. I know.
Because you want to close strong, but you have to close with the person you're roasting. So your best jokes have to be about that person, because you want the best jokes to be. Your first joke has to be fucking killer. So once you get those out of the way, then you put in stuff that you don't want to be too mean. You have to realize like there might be groans after some of them, and you'll want to win them back, or you want to.
What's the trick on winning someone back after a groan, and why do you feel it's necessary?
I guess there's not groans with roast jokes because it's so already bad, but like there's some jokes though that you go, that one it's too weird, and I want to do it because it's weird and it's dark. Like I told what's his name? Kevin Pollak. I was like, you do amazing impressions. Yeah, I was like, you do such good impressions. You're De Niro, you're whatever, and then I go, oh, and you do an amazing Robin Williams. I just wish you would finish it. And it's just like telling him to kill himself. And I go, yeah, we've lost a lot of great. I know that joke is sensitive. We lost a lot of greats to suicide this year. And all I'm saying is it's time to lose some OKs. And so that is sensitive because it's like about suicide. But that joke is so funny to me. And that I had to do. I remember doing that joke and one girl was like, no. And I go, have you lost someone to suicide? And she was like, yeah. And I go, we all have. I was like, it's everywhere. If I can't talk about the word suicide without people being like, no.
So what is the problem that an audience would have with that? Is it that you're joking about something that shouldn't be joked about, or is it something else?
I'm telling someone to kill themselves, but that doesn't bother me because it's obviously a joke. But I think it's that
people. Would you do that on stage, not a roast?
Oh yeah. Because suicide for me, I understand it's very touchy, but and you're allowed to get upset about it if you lost someone you love and you don't want to be reminded of it or have anyone have laughter around it. But I also have been really affected by suicide and have been someone who's thought about it a ton. So not that gives me license to do it, but I feel like I am talking about it not because I want to make jokes about it and belittle it and minimize it, but I want to draw more attention to it, honestly. And so I'm doing the opposite of what people think I'm doing. Yes.
You want to draw attention to suicide, and that's
I want to make people more well with that joke in general. Like
that's an actual mission statement or a byproduct of it.
I think that these things where you're like you can't have these buzzwords. It's like, well, okay, the reason you can't say the word rape on stage or joke about rape. Well, that makes it so like if you've been raped, you feel like it's bad to even say it or talk. The word is so bad.
Well, it goes back to what we were saying at the beginning, where you would love to talk about herpes if you had it, and that's why I believe you said you're seeking, and that you want to say stuff. You said flirting with being canceled. because you want people to want to talk about what you were doing.
Well, flirting with being canceled is more like you want to ride that line because it's so hard to get noticed or do something that catches people's attention now that you have to.
I don't know if you want to ride that line. You do, and I believe that.
I don't want to, but I don't like to. I don't want anyone to be offended. I really don't do anything to be offended. I hate when all I want is for people to like me. I really do. That's like my goal. So when people are like that table, we loved you, but that table was like shaking their heads the whole time. It like breaks my soul. Like it hurts me. I want to pass over. Like I get so sad when I hear people that I made someone sad. But for me, I think that I need to talk about rape and molestation, even though I haven't been raped or molested, because I think that it makes we need to talk about those things, because I live in fear of being raped, and I lived in fear of being molested as a child, and children are molested all the time. And the fact that we say you can't joke about it, it just silences the fact that it exists. And we need to acknowledge the fact that suicide exists, rape and molestation exists. These aren't things that aren't happening. If we keep comedians from talking about it, we keep everyone from talking about it. We keep victims from talking about it, and it makes this like you gotta be hush hush, and then rapists and molesters get to keep operating because they're doing this thing that no one talks about. So if they do it, they won't get caught because no one can talk about it. So it's not about me being on stage being like, I've been raped, I've been molested, this is my story. There's some of that to it of being like vulnerable about things that happened to you, but I think it's like even the things that haven't happened to me, I still think need to be talked about, because we just need to normalize the words and take the power away from the people that are doing it.
I'm sorry. Have you been talking?
You could. It wasn't. I
You
was
heard
just
it
telling.
here first. The rapists and the molesters will keep doing what they're doing until we talk about it more.
Yeah, I know that people can go, fuck you. You've never you just want to do your jokes, and that suicide joke.
Do you get a lot of hate? Do you get a lot of hate for being?
No, I don't, because I think people now can sense that I'm being. All I want is for people to be healthy and not get molested and not get raped and not get molested.
Let me move on past this for a second, because
I want to keep talking about it.
Yeah,
but I really
know.
do.
But I want to move on because
yes, I get it.
It's just we're coming to an end, and I want to make sure I get a couple things out of here.
Yeah.
But I must say that raping, molesting, abusing, I hate it.
It's really brave of you to say that and to put yourself out there.
There's
like
a
that
lot
right
of
now.
comedians right now, especially, I'm a guy, I got a podcast, check out these Hims pills or these boner pills or this fucking mattress. And all they want to do is like make jokes about how women have little tits and guys have huge dicks. And the truth is...
Are you talking about Freakonomics, that podcast?
I don't know that podcast.
That's all they talk about.
It's
Is
that a real podcast?
It is a real podcast, but it's about like economics.
Oh. I didn't get that joke. And you know what? I'm okay admitting that.
Oh, wait.
Oh, fuck. What was it? The reason I wanted to go away from
these guys talk
molestation
about
was something...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was a real reason to go away from molestation, because normally I never change the subject on that.
We're closing up the show.
You as a stand-up and a very popular stand-up comedian. Congratulations on your success. You do very well. You're one of the people that it's like when people like, people always talk about who their favorite comedians are. You have been on lists numerous times.
I know. It's like...
Why is that?
I just have that thing of like, they don't like... I don't trust those lists then. But then I'm on lists with the names I'm next to. I'm like, well, they're my favorite comics. So the people that are making these lists have good taste. So I must be good.
But the alternative is you're not on the list. Who cares if you don't deserve to be there? Not saying you don't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's just like you obviously connected with enough people to where enough people have at worst been tricked by you. Who gives a shit? I mean, you obviously... You don't get to be on that many lists if you're not doing well.
Yeah. I've accepted people enjoy me, and I do deserve to be enjoyed and beloved.
This is a corny question, but it's very real. I'm asking as a comedian who's not on these lists. Which, by the way, you could be to get not past at the Comedy Store sweatshirts or your Pink Goblin sweatshirts at rickglassman.com.
You should be.
Thank you.
By the way,
thank you very much.
You would be if they were you will be.
Thank you.
But you truly are amazing.
I appreciate that. I still am. I'm very excited to. This podcast, I think, will offer me once I'm done working and could go out, opportunities to do what I've never done before, have not done much before, which is really work out hours on the road and get to where I do believe I can be. But I don't know if I'll ever feel like, wow, I'm amazing. But I've always felt that I will be, and I'm excited that this podcast might give me that chance.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're amazing. Do you really want to be the best stand-up?
I want to be directing. I want to be making stuff.
Yeah, you are the best at that already. It's very clear.
Thank you. I don't want to make my living from stand-up.
Yeah.
I want to make money from stand-up, and more specifically, I want to be doing stand-up. I would love.
There's so much money in stand-up though. Once you really make it,
that's
the bummer, because now I'm like at a level where.
Will you tell me what your weekends are? Is that something you're not comfortable talking about?
I don't like it's.
You don't have to give me an exact number, but I could guess, and you could tell me how.
Like I do theaters now, so I think like for a show.
Over or under 50 a weekend.
It would be probably right at 50, but probably over in some places at this point. I'm just about like it.
And what does
really,
that mean? What is that? Is that Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Or
like no, one night.
One night. Awesome. And do you ever do two places in a weekend? Do you ever go somewhere Friday, somewhere Saturday?
Yes. Well, this next tour is that kind of money, and it was last year.
I'm sorry. What's this money?
This next tour I'm
doing.
Let
me also check in with you. I'm sorry. How are you with what time? Because I know you have a hard out.
I have 5 more minutes. But Rick, I do.
Could you talk fast?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. We know.
I'm the fast talker in comedy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I do. I will do clubs though still, and money is new to me, and I literally didn't know how to answer that because I don't look at money at all, and I'm very excited to make a lot of money. But you get to this point in your career when you're famous enough where you're like, I kind of want to take a step away from comedy. I can do other things. I can do podcasts. I can do talk shows. I can do things that people know me not even from my stand up. They know me from roast. They know me from appearances on Howard Stern, Tonight Show, do different things like that. Maybe I don't need to do stand up.
Are you doing a joke, or are you really trying to get everything out?
No, I really want to talk this fast, and I'm never allowed to.
I can't.
Really?
You shouldn't.
I love it.
Don't worry about being a masculine energy on stage, but don't do that. Now,
maybe
Nikki,
you don't like it, but as someone with ADD, I speed up podcasts 2 times every time.
Yeah, but people are already speeding this up.
Well, then slow it down.
Exactly. You're doing stand-up. I want to get my question out, though, or have it answered. Why are you, this is the corny interview, but really wanting to know question. I don't know what you could quantify, but why do so many people connect to you?
Because I am vulnerable and I'm real. And I'm not scared to say things that I used to think. I'm not scared to say things that so many people.
Other people aren't scared to say stuff. And
no, they are.
There are a significant amount of comedians who are honest, who aren't scared to say stuff, and
people
who
love
are
them.
funny.
People love those people.
But they're not. Oh, he's my favorite.
Because I'm also really interested in other people, and I seem empathetic. I think my empathy and my interest in other people and my, people can sense that I want good things for people, and that, and you like that. You just want. I hope that shines. I hope that's why people like me. That they're like, man, this girl makes. I know that I say things, and I didn't even know I did, but I do say things and share things that so many people go through that they've never even admitted to themselves and didn't know until I even said it was a thing that I go through.
I love jokes where you hear something, you're like, other people think about that?
I know, it's like, I needed me so bad until
That's sweet.
Now. Like, I am trying to be the comedian that I needed when I was 15 because I felt so ugly. I felt like
Were you
hated
ugly, or
myself
did you look different?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
you're
look
pretty.
different.
Were you not pretty before?
I was okay, but I just didn't know how to wear makeup or dress or look as cute as possible. And I had a really beautiful sister that I couldn't ever.
Has she passed?
She's
just not pretty
because
anymore.
she's married and has kids, so she's gone.
We'll put her Instagram handle up here.
Yeah, it's private. She doesn't even seek validation from others, but I do so much because I saw her getting so much attention. She's so tired of this narrative that I've presented, but it's true. It's like I just felt ugly. I still feel ugly and not deserving.
Can I tell you? And I'm not pinching my sweatshirt because, although I love it and you look great in it, but seriously, maybe you already know this. Pink is a good color on you.
I know it is.
I think blonde people, actually, I think I've noticed this once before. I never really liked red lipstick, and I remember I was working in a restaurant, and there was a girl who was blonde, and her red lipstick, I thought she looked so pretty. I'm like, maybe it only works.
It's blonde. I know. Pink is like my color. I really love it, and that's why I wanted this sweatshirt instead of the other one, and also because Charlotte Lawrence has this, and she was photographed by the paparazzi wearing it, and I wanted to look as cool as her, and like I could be like with her and her friends.
We'll do a
walking
side-by-side
in
of you.
Beverly Hills, like, oh, look, Charlotte.
If I do a side-by-side picture, if I put your face on Kaya's body, where you guys are walking next to each other?
No, don't do that, because then people go, oh my God, like Nikki Glaser's fat, because now we see that her head, like if she would look so much better if she had Kaya Gerber's body. I like my body, so I don't want to
Shout out to Photoshopped AF, Photoshopped _AF, who helps me sometimes.
Oh yeah, I like
he does
that guy.
great work.
Yeah.
If he makes, If we put you in that photo, will you share it and pretend it's real and say you got to get the sweatshirt?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. My last question for you, Nikki.
Nikki.
Was there a tipping point that you're aware of to where a certain special appearance, something happened, at least when you realized, oh, I'm on this side of things now?
I think it was the roast. I think it was the roast of maybe Bruce Willis. The Alec Baldwin roast was the big one. That was like, holy shit.
Was that the one with Blake Griffin?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
that
destroyed.
One went
I watched it a
nuts.
few weeks ago, and
Yeah.
that's why I was like, oh my God. I'd seen it too, but there's something about...
And I was crying after that roast because I
you
forgot
knew-
a joke.
Oh.
And I thought I didn't. I was like, I
Here's
just
your opportunity.
squandered the best opportunity.
Here's your opportunity.
It was Alec
Turn
Baldwin.
into it.
Caitlyn Jenner and Alec Baldwin. I will, but I just want to set the stage. Caitlyn Jenner and Alec Baldwin were both on this roast. Alec Baldwin, I love your podcast, Here's the Thing, which is also how you introduced Caitlyn to me backstage, and I thought that was weird.
I don't know if I really understand too well, just because she's...
trans, and like
trans and is a
he's
thing.
probably transphobic because but he's not. You know, it's just like setting the stage.
There's a world, and I don't know if this exists, where you do that joke, it doesn't go as well.
I know. It all happens for the right reason. Like, I'm glad when things happen where I used to go, my life could have been so different if I said that joke. It could have been that could have been like the best joke. Like all these things I had. And there was another one too that I really loved that I forgot. But now I go, when those things happen, I go, oh my God, this was all meant to be. Like something's going to happen now because I didn't say that joke.
What year was
it's going to
that?
be better. 2019.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
In 2019, and you noticed a difference. Now, what is that? When you went to theaters right away?
Well, that was also my Netflix special premiered like in October, and the roast was in September.
So it was like a good commercial for your special too.
Yeah, it was big, and then I was able to start selling tickets and on the road and stuff. But then Howard Stern also is. But really, the time where I was like, oh, I'm tapping into something was going on Joe Rogan and talking about having like suicidal ideations, which was something I was like really struggling with at the time. Joe Rogan literally reached out to me to be like, are you okay? Because I made a joke about shaving my head on Twitter because I was seriously like needing someone to call me and be like, are you okay? Like, because I really was like so depressed over the summer in 2020, you know, COVID, living with my parents in St. Louis. And Joe Rogan reached out to me being like, hey, I saw your tweet. Are you okay, buddy? And I was like, I'm coming to LA next week. I'm not doing great, but I'd love to sit down and talk to you about it on your show. And I went on and shared that like sometimes I think about killing myself and I don't know why. And so many people were like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was
funny.
And I like
no, but so many people didn't realize they thought the way
they didn't
that you
even
think?
know that they thought the way I thought. They were like, so many people write me, Rick, and it's like I don't even let it in because it's too emotional. But so many people write me and say like, the other day I did Theo's podcast, and I'm getting guys writing me being like, you just shifted the way I think about the way I process my negative thoughts, and now I'm free. Like sometimes because there have been major things that have helped me shift my thinking to not be depressed and not be like things that have happened to me where I've learned like tricks that you can I'm trying to present knowledge in a way and take the stuff that I've learned from reading books and listening to podcasts, reading thirds of books. I'm always like, I get it. Okay.
Never finished a book in my life.
Never. And now I'm trying to, my comedy now is trying to put that stuff out there while also being funny and like have like these mental hacks so people aren't like killing themselves and hating themselves all the time, because that's like, it's torture.
Well, if there was one mental hack that you could give somebody to stop killing themselves, we would love to hear it, but we're out of time.
Yeah.
Nikki Glaser, we'd love to have you back. Thank you so much. You guys could check out the Nikki Glaser podcast, which was produced by Will Ferrell and iHeartMedia's Big Money Players Network.
Yeah, it is.
Have you actually interacted with Will? Why do you choose a network over going to it alone? Because you already have an audience. That, and why not have how to not be depressed anymore when we come back with Nikki Glaser 2.0. Nikki, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And where could people find you?
Nikki Glaser on Instagram is the best. NikkiGlaser.com/tour for tickets. I'm on tour starting in July through 2022.
No, I meant, what's your address in St. Louis? Thank you so much for coming in.
4643.
I'll bleep it. Don't say it, though, just in case I forget. Yeah, you don't want to give your address. People would be creepy.
Right.
All right, and
I've learned that
music.
the hard way.
Now, during this, the music is playing. They can't hear, so we're doing one of those news reporter things. So you could say whatever you want, and
Okay.
it won't go in. So say something that's really scandalous.
Okay. What am I supposed to say here? I'm supposed to say
Never mind.
something
The joke was that we couldn't hear you and we could. Music.
Right.
We're good now. It's fine.
I was trying to give you something scandalous, but I also didn't want you to air it.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop